Let me ask you a question, and I want you to really think about it. What if living to 100 wasn't about magic, superfoods, expensive supplements, or complicated diet rules? What if it wasn't about chasing the latest health trend on social media? What if the answer was actually simple and not what you think? I'm a doctor. I work with real people, real bodies, real problems. And what I've learned, both from science and from clinical experience, is this: longevity is not built on hype. It's built on daily habits that respect human biology. We've been told for decades that to live longer, we need more variety, more colors on our plate, more snacks, more frequent meals, more balance. But if that were true, we'd be the healthiest generation in history, and we're not. We are sicker, more inflamed, more tired, more anxious, and more dependent on medication than ever before. Chronic diseases everywhere: diabetes, heart disease, obesity, autoimmune conditions. And most of it didn't exist at this scale just a few generations ago. So something doesn't add up. Here's the uncomfortable truth: the human body has not changed, but our food has. And when you eat in a way your body does not recognize, your body pays the price. Living to 100 isn't about eating less. It's not about starving yourself. And it's definitely not about willpower. It's about eating the foods your body is designed to thrive on every single day, not foods engineered in factories, not foods that need labels, barcodes, or ingredient lists you can't pronounce. Real food, simple food, nutrient-dense food. And here's the part that surprises most people: longevity doesn't come from eating many things. It comes from eating the right things consistently. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It knows how to heal. It knows how to regulate weight. It knows how to repair cells and slow aging, but only if you stop interfering with it. This isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. When you align your daily eating with human biology, something powerful happens. Inflammation goes down, energy goes up, cravings disappear, mental clarity returns, and your body starts acting younger, not older. So today I want to strip away the noise: no fear, no guilt, no extremes, just the truth delivered with respect for your intelligence and your health, because living to 100 isn't a dream. It's a decision you practice every day. Let's talk about why this topic matters. Right now, most people don't die suddenly. They decline slowly. They lose energy in their 40s. They gain weight in their 50s. They collect diagnoses in their 60s. And by their 70s, they're managing disease instead of living life. That is not aging. That is chronic metabolic damage. And the biggest driver of that damage is not genetics. It's daily nutrition. Every time you eat, you send instructions to your body. You tell it to heal or inflame, to build or break down, to stabilize hormones or disrupt them. Highly processed foods, constant snacking, and excess sugar keep insulin high, inflammation active, and cells under stress. Over time, that accelerates aging at the cellular level. On the other hand, when you eat nutrient-dense, biologically appropriate foods, your body gets what it needs to repair itself. Your mitochondria, the engines of your cells, work better. Your hormones stabilize. Your immune system calms down. That's not theory, that's physiology. Living longer isn't just about adding years. It's about adding strong, capable, independent years. No one wants to live to 100 if the last 30 years are spent tired, medicated, and limited. The goal is health span, not just lifespan. And the beautiful thing is this: your next meal matters more than your past. Your body responds quickly when you remove the things that harm it and provide the things it needs. You don't need to wait decades to feel better. Many people feel changes in weeks or even days. This matters because your life matters, your family matters, your future matters, and the food you choose every day is either moving you closer to vitality or quietly pulling it away. Most people think the problem with modern health is a lack of motivation or discipline. That's not true. The real problem is that we are surrounded by foods that look like food, taste engineered to be addictive, but are completely foreign to human biology. When the body doesn't recognize what you're eating, it can't use it properly, and that creates stress at the cellular level. This stress doesn't always show up immediately, which is why people think they're fine for years, until suddenly they're not. Highly processed foods are designed to be cheap, long-lasting, and hyper-palatable. They spike blood sugar, overstimulate insulin, and inflame the gut lining. Over time, this leads to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and hormonal chaos. You may feel this as constant hunger, fatigue after meals, brain fog, joint stiffness, or unexplained weight gain. These are not signs of aging. These are signs that the body is fighting what you're feeding it every day. When this pattern continues for years, the damage becomes deeper. Chronic inflammation quietly accelerates aging by damaging blood vessels, nerves, and mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells. This is how everyday food choices translate into heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, fatty liver, and cognitive decline, not because the body is weak, but because it's overwhelmed. Here's the empowering part. The solution is not complicated, and it doesn't require extreme restriction. The body heals when you remove the insult and provide the nutrients it's designed to run on. Real, whole foods, especially nutrient-dense animal foods, supply complete protein, bioavailable vitamins, essential minerals, and stable energy without constant glucose spikes. These nutrients support muscle, brain function, hormones, and immune health in a way no processed food ever can. When you eat this way, something remarkable happens. Hunger becomes calm instead of urgent. Cravings fade because your body is finally nourished, not just stimulated. Energy levels stabilize throughout the day. Inflammation decreases, joints feel better, digestion improves, and mental clarity returns. This isn't willpower, it's physiology working the way it's supposed to. One of the simplest changes you can make is to prioritize protein and natural fats at every meal. This signals safety to the body. Blood sugar stays steady, insulin comes down, and fat storage mechanisms turn off. You're no longer on a metabolic roller coaster constantly chasing the next snack. You eat, you're satisfied, and you move on with your life. That's how humans ate for most of history. Consistency matters more than perfection. You don't need exotic foods or complicated plans. You need repeatable meals that your body understands. When you do this day after day, your metabolism repairs itself, inflammation stays low, and aging slows naturally. This is not about deprivation. It's about giving your body what it's been asking for all along. When food stops being a daily stressor, the body finally has the space to heal, strengthen, and move you toward a longer, healthier life. The biggest misunderstanding in modern nutrition is the idea that the human body can adapt to anything if we just control calories or balance our meals. In reality, the body is incredibly adaptable, but it still has limits. When you consistently eat foods that did not exist for most of human history, your body doesn't suddenly evolve to handle them. Instead, it compensates, and those compensations slowly turn into disease. This is why so many people feel normal, while their health is quietly declining in the background. Ultra-processed foods confuse the body's signaling systems. They deliver energy without proper nutrition, forcing the body to work harder to extract what little value is there. Blood sugar rises quickly, insulin surges, and inflammation follows. Over time, this cycle trains the body to store fat, burn energy inefficiently, and remain in a constant state of metabolic stress. You may notice that you're hungry shortly after eating, tired in the afternoon, or mentally foggy even after a full night's sleep. These are not random symptoms, they are feedback. The gut is often the first place this damage shows up. Processed foods disrupt the gut lining and the microbiome, weakening the barrier between your digestive system and your bloodstream. When that barrier breaks down, inflammatory compounds leak into the body, triggering immune responses that were never meant to be constant. This low-grade inflammation doesn't always hurt right away, but it accelerates aging by damaging tissues and impairing repair mechanisms. The body spends its energy managing damage instead of building strength. This chronic stress also affects hormones. Insulin resistance develops, hunger signals become unreliable, and satiety disappears. People blame themselves for overeating, but the truth is their biology has been hijacked. When the body is undernourished at the cellular level, it demands more food, even if you're consuming plenty of calories. That's how people can eat all day and still feel unsatisfied. The solution begins with simplicity and respect for biology. Foods that humans have eaten for thousands of years come with the nutrients in the forms our bodies can actually use. Complete proteins provide the building blocks for muscle, organs, enzymes, and immune cells. Natural fats support hormones, brain health, and long-lasting energy. Micronutrients like iron, zinc, B vitamins, and fat-soluble vitamins are critical for repair and resilience, and they're most bioavailable in real whole foods. As these foods replace processed ones, the body quickly shifts out of defense mode, blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation eases, hunger signals normalize. People are often surprised by how calm eating becomes, no constant cravings, no mental bargaining, no obsession with food. Meals become satisfying instead of stimulating. This is where daily life changes. Energy becomes steady instead of spiking and crashing. Focus improves. Physical movement feels easier. Over months and years, this translates into preserved muscle, stronger bones, healthier blood vessels, and a more resilient brain. Aging slows not because you're forcing it to, but because you've removed the friction that was speeding it up. Living longer doesn't require heroic effort. It requires stopping the quiet harm that happens every day. When you feed the body what it recognizes and remove what damages it, health becomes the natural outcome, not a constant struggle. So here's my challenge to you. Stop chasing health. Start supporting your body. Choose foods your body recognizes. Eat them daily. Trust the process. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. Do that. And you're not just adding years to your life. You're adding life to your years. Start today.